you can hear me, clap 2 times. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. Yo, big blessings. All right, everybody, you guys have been awesome. We got more time to network and to mingle. Separate from last time, we're not gonna go both panels and speakers back to back because that went too long. We just were sitting. Am I right, Caesar? We're sitting too long. So we're gonna start off over here with Ricky from WaterWave. Everybody in the back. Everybody talking in the back, quiet down, come find a seat. We're gonna have time to talk and network. We'll have time to talk and we'll network after Ricky. We got time, we got time. All right, everybody, all your undivided attention. We got Ricky, WaterWave. Make some noise.
I walk around a lot when I talk and think, so I'm probably not going to be so done.
Yeah, feel comfortable.
But my name is Ricky. I'm here joined with my wonderful girlfriend, Michelle, over there. She's a little quiet, so feel free to introduce yourself to her. She's really nice.
2 years! 2 years!
Yeah, we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. Being together. Yeah, my name is Ricky. I just kind of want to see maybe a show of hands. Who has heard? Have you heard of WaterwaveTV before? Raise your hand if you've heard of WaterwaveTV.
Wow!
Okay, wow. So there's a lot of familiar faces, minds in here that may know about WaterWave. I kind of want to start with kind of maybe telling you the story of how WaterWave started and kind of where we're at now. I'm not going to be able to go through the whole, 5-year story, detail by detail, but just a little bit kind of give you an idea of maybe where you fit in and what shoes you could have worn, what level of progression of WaterWave that you maybe fit in, and like, dang, I'm at that point, and they started at that point, and I can maybe get there as well. But basically, I grew up in Mankato, Minnesota, eventually decided to play Division III football and go to River Falls, Wisconsin, which was really, I don't know, random. I'm not really into country music, any country hick type stuff, but it's a very farm school, but it was like brand new football facilities, brand new sports facilities, pretty good football team, brand new jerseys, helmets, the whole 9 yards, to where it just made sense to go there if I was really gonna play football while I went to college. When I go there, I end up meeting people like by the name of Calvino. He went there to play football. Some early on WaterWave members like Dre, Angelito, Jugman from all around the country. Other people from Minnesota. Also Elliot, Reese, Ouija, Funtez, all these people. We all met in River Falls, right? My plan, I went to school for business management or business administration with a focus on management. So I always knew I wanted to start a business, and I always wanted people to be proud to either enter my business or wear my business's clothes. I just didn't know what business I wanted to do. I just wanted people to be proud to say something about me or be a part of it or have any type of impression to maybe where you've done something with my business. I just wanted to be something you could be proud and represent and tell people about. One day in my business law class, or I guess before I get to that point, I was already vlogging, senior year of high school, right at summer. Graduation party, got a little bit of money, I bought a vlog camera and a laptop, and I started vlogging. That was like what I guess I got. Obviously the laptop was good for college as well, but started my YouTube page with that. Go to college vlogging, realize like vlogging the college lifestyle is kind of cool, but I need to have like something going on if I'm gonna vlog the college lifestyle. A bunch of my friends, like Calvino and a few of the other names I said that went to school, all made music. And that was kind of new to me. In Mankato, there was only like one artist group that made music, and I shot a music video for them, connected with them, vlogged with them a little bit, so I was kind of already in the music scene. I kind of liked it. And I was like, hey, let's vlog your studio sessions and whatnot. Let's kind of like have some fun with this. So we started doing that, vlogging our parties, performing at parties, stuff like that. And then one day I'm in a business law class where one half of the class, we would be split in half. One half of the class were music artists and the other half of the class were record labels. And I was on the record label side of the class. And we find what artists we're supposed to sign. That was like the whole concept of the class and that project. I go ahead, we sign whoever. I'm like Atlantic Records, we're signing Drake or something like that. But I'm always the type to sketch in my notebook about whatever. So I start sketching my own record label. And one thing, being on the football team, going through high school, we'd always drink a lot of water. Like, we make sure none of us were drinking pop or sugary drinks. So we'd always say, water's the new wave. Like, cut out the pop, water's the new wave. And I start drawing like water wave records, like little WWs intersecting, CDs, water bottles, all that type of stuff on my paper. Immediately after that class, I go directly to the library, use the Illustrator, Photoshop, whatever it was, and make the first water wave design, which is like a super old one that a lot of you might not know, but it's just like 2 intersecting W's on the outline of a bottle. That was the first one, went right to class, pitched the idea to Kelvino and all them, said, hey, I want to like interview artists, let's go back to Minneapolis, do their, record their studio sessions. To the time, River Falls is like 45 minutes from Minneapolis, so it's not too far. But eventually we were like, yeah, this is cool. So we start recording our life out there. I find myself going back to Minneapolis once a week to record an artist studio session, meet people, go to the radio with someone and record them, start doing my services, take photos, videos of concerts, all that type of stuff to start networking. And then eventually we all decided to drop out of college our sophomore year and move to Dinkytown together. And that's really when like WaterWave really started in Minneapolis. We started throwing parties, started throwing like, I guess our biggest move that really got our name out there, we partnered up with the Hockey House. They lived right behind us, and we threw a big spring jam party. There was like over 1,000 people came. Like people were shutting down their parties, started coming to ours, just because we actually had a real DJ there. It was the Hockey House already, so it was already like pretty popular. So that's kind of when WaterWave really started, and that was around 2019 when we like moved into Dinkytown and had a house for the first time. And from that point on, our main goal was just to kind of help the Minnesota music scene. How can people grow? How many people can I connect with? And one thing I learned along the way that it was one of the things that got the most likes on our Instagram page over anything else that ever did at that time. We had like 300-400 followers or something, but I did like a top 25 Minnesota artist list or something like that, right? And those 25 guys are probably the only 25 guys I knew at the time. So then I quickly learned, and it was a really good learning curve because we probably had about 1,000 comments on that, and we only had about 300-400 followers. So you could see how people are maybe, what's wrong with this, or this artist isn't on this artist isn't on there. And at that point, I got to find out about 500 plus new artists, and then, that was like, it was like a blessing in disguise. And it was one thing I learned is you shouldn't be necessarily ranking them from 1 to 25, but maybe highlighting 25 artists is a good way to put it. That's one thing I learned kind of early on, and I think a lot of people learn a little too late when they have like media companies and stuff, and they try to like put someone on top, or like they try to like, this is the guy, this is the best, when in reality, like Minnesota or Minneapolis in general isn't like something to be proud of being the best at, or best of yet, is I think what we're trying to get to. So that's one little thing I learned along in the day. And we just went to one of his shows and told him to come back to our house after. He came, talked with him, asked him if he had a manager. He said he didn't, and then the rest is history. It's been about 5 years with Trayson too. But we, like the artist management role, I'd say at this point for WaterWave, it's really like a family thing. Like we don't just like, I'm not just scouting for talent and signing people left and right. We don't have any strict like contracts with any of our guys. It's a real family thing. It's people that have been there from the beginning, or people that have put me on, like Trayson put me on with QMO within the past year. He's like, this is my young up and coming friend. He's like one of the hardest rappers, he can freestyle like crazy. And I actually heard about him when we were doing an Instagram live talent show. He came in and freestyled, and he just did way better than everyone else. And before you know it, he's performing at our next show. Like there's a lot of these random opportunities that may happen. Via artist management, we help a lot of artists get into played in stadiums, played in the clubs, get on a lot of shows. We throw, 6-7 shows a year on average, I guess. And for the most part, there's always a WaterWave artist on the show. We actually have a show tomorrow at the 7th Street entry. It's an all-female artist show. We do not have a WaterWave representative on that show, but it's a full female artist, DJ, host, all the acts, everything that we're putting on the Carbon Sound. So there's a lot of WaterWave shows that are going on that like is one of the major things that we can help offer, and then just all the networking, like I explained before, all the people we know and all the connections we have is kind of what we offer on the management side.
And then lastly, before we go into the Q&A, how did the volume start? You guys started to do the WaterWave Volume 1, 2, how many you guys got now?
Yep.
And yeah, I know you just jumped into the next one.
Yeah, so the next one, that's tomorrow's Volume 9. And I came up with the idea, it's called City Takeover Volume whatever. And then there's like maybe a side title. Like this is City Takeover Volume 9 Birds of Prey, which is after the movie called Birds of Prey. I'd never seen it, but Kimmy, the artist that made it, came up with the idea and the theme or whatever. And it was pretty cool. But so the city takeover came with the idea of, I've seen a lot of people name their local shows and local open mics like Minneapolis Music, whatever, Minneapolis Takeover, Minneapolis City this. I'm like, let's just call it City Takeover, because then we can travel to different cities and take over the city. Like, it makes sense, right? So then it's a traveling show. You're not labeling this as just this. And then we can also bring in out-of-town acts. Like, I think it was number 6. We had Tyler Yahweh, he came and headlined it. So it's like someone else got to come and take over our city for the night in the City Takeover. So there's a lot of random meetings on it, but it also builds I think it builds a fan base of people that want to go to every single one. Or they're like, I went to 3, 4, and 5, I missed 6 and 7, but like here's 8, I want to go to 8 so I can catch up, and maybe you try to grab the merch from every single one, whatever it may be. But that's kind of was our game plan on naming it that. We've done a lot of shows that weren't city takeovers along the way as well. It's very just like showcase based is a city takeover. Like 4, 5, 6 artists like show their talents. A lot of them are going to be local, and maybe one big headliner if we can, but a lot of them are just local.
Perfect. We'll open it up to Q&A if anybody has questions, and I'll pass around the microphone. All right, state your name. You came in a little late. Go ahead and tell me who you are. I know who you are.
Hey, my name is Miles. I'm a DJ. I've been making beats since like 2017. I like to write songs. I've been doing stand-up comedy like the past 2 weeks recently. But my question is mainly about like how did you find your niche? And like you kind of explained it through your story and like how you come up. And thank you for sharing your story. That's really inspiring. But I'm just wondering, like, there's so many different egos and kind of layers to the music industry, and it's hard for me to like see kind of from your perspective, like where you saw the Minneapolis music scene, like where did you fit in? Because you really seem like you're at the heart of it, and like there's all these different limbs of it going around, and you seem to be like just at the forefront of it. So I'm just wondering, like, how did you see like these opportunities that you were talking about? How did you capitalize on that, and like how did you like become Waterwave today?
Yeah, I get it. So I think that we were all aware eventually of like how much talent there was in Minnesota, and there was no one covering it. So that was like our niche in that we were like first. Like we weren't first, but maybe we were the first ones to do it like correctly, or like the way people like seeing it, or whatever it may be. And just kind of, I guess, being ourselves is a big thing, because it's really hard to fake a persona every single day. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to put on fake like who you are, how you talk, who you are. Like it's hard to do that. So our niche was really being ourselves, like attacking a good business market of there's no one doing it out here. This is a time when like Lyrical Lemonade is going viral, and No Jumper is like rising with the underground SoundCloud scene, and there's a bunch of all these other YouTube pages popping up doing interviews, but no one's doing it in Minnesota, at least like correctly for the youth, like for like the new generation, like because there's a lot of OGs, like Mike knows a lot more about like the OG rap game with like Rhyme Sayers and Atmosphere and Prof Stop House and all the people that were before my time of like being in the music scene, but there was no one covering it correctly for the new generation. And I think that's where we fit in. And it's also another topic on why we pick certain artists to represent Waterwave. We're always trying to find the new next young talent to like connect with, like maybe like the senior, like the high school crowd before they graduate and stuff like that. So staying relevant with the new up and rising generation, I think is really good. And that comes with knowing how to make content and just knowing what to push and who to have represent you. But I don't. It's like I just take it day by day. Is really how it's came to this point. I'm a big believer in just building it brick by brick, and you're gonna have a house. Because there's a lot of people that like they want the house, but they can't go brick by brick. Like as long as like doing something like this today, this is like I've laid, let's say, like 100 bricks this month or something, and today or last month, and today is like I'm putting the cement on one of those bricks today. Like it's a very minimal thing in how it feels right now. But going back, like if I didn't do this, then something else would have had to take that point. And instead, now I would have been one step away from building the house I'm looking to get with all the bricks. So, like, I don't know, I guess just really just attacking something that you see is like vulnerable or needs help in a certain area. Whether it's like if you're a producer, if you don't like making content, and you haven't made content, make some content. show off your skills, show off the type of stuff you make, show off what you can offer to someone, and someone, the niche may find you, the people may find you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Everybody hearing everything all good? Do I need to turn up the volume a little more? Awesome.
All right, I'm Jay Ham. I know we met a few times before, Ricky. My question to you, kind of going off of that last one, is how do you kind of find the best ways or the most beneficial ways to kind of gravitate towards, you know, those younger audiences with the content and all of that for all of your artists and, you know, everybody here?
Yeah, I'd say it's really hard, as like I'm about to be 25, so it's really hard still to like connect with like 15, 16-year-olds and what they think is cool now. And I'm feeling like it doesn't seem like it's that far away, like in my head, but really it's like a 10-year difference. It's a lot. But like I'd say one of our big thing is just picking the people that you want to have as your business partners and want to be around you, because they're going to be a direct reflection on your brand. So people that, like, if I can't connect well with the high school crowd, well, Cumo and Trayson and Jay Fontaine can, because they just graduated in the past 1, 2, and 3 years, you know. So they might be able to help you with that, but also just like, I don't know, like, I think the clothing store helps a lot too, because we get a lot of young hype beasts in our store that want to like trade clothes and buy clothes, and you just be yourself, be a good person, be the person that you see on the camera when I'm like, what up, yo? Like, it's Ricky from Waterwave, blah, blah, blah. Like, be that when they walk in the store. Don't be like, what up, and then go back on your phone. Like, that's not how you connect with people. You gotta, like, match what you put on the internet, and I think our team does a really good job of that.
Think of it like the game Sims. You guys want, James, you want to pass it to her, and then she can pass it up?
What classes or books did you read? Classes did you take, books you read that helped
In
you?
college, or?
Just in general, what was the most influential?
She's cracking up.
Yeah, no, I took, she's laughing because I don't read books, but I did take some
Okay,
classes.
All right, video, I guess, I don't know, video. What are your resources for your success?
So I learned like everything video editing wise for the most part on YouTube, just looking up, and same with graphic designing and stuff. I did take 1 semester of a film class in college, and that helped me learn a lot of stuff as well. But when it came to learning really how to edit and show good clips and everything, a lot of it was YouTube. I did take a lot of business classes while I was in college, so like macro and macroeconomics, business law, and a few like other like advertising and marketing classes that did help me a lot. So I do value the time I spent in college, even though I did drop out, because eventually I just found what I wanted to do and got to use what I learned for that time I was there. I'm trying to think. I would say one person I did watch a lot was Gary Vee when I first started my company, or like first started like wanting to be an entrepreneur, because he would drop like daily or weekly videos explaining like how he's making money, and like he would show you how to go make some money. So finding an inspiration that doesn't only like be like, I want to be like that, I want to be like Beyonce one day, or I want to be like whoever you want to be like one day, just off of the idea of being famous and rich. Find someone that you can have an inspiration that will show you actually how to be successful from a day-to-day basis. If you can find a person that does that you can reminisce with, I think it's very valuable. Even to someone like I'm trying to get back in the gym more. I've been listening to a lot more podcasts where they talk about working out. It just makes you feel like I need to get in the gym. Like, what am I doing sitting around like not going to the gym? Just whatever you need help with, just I'd say find those types of influencers that are actually genuine, and you know, they're not just, you know, for the home, trying to go viral and trying to do crazy stunts, you know, stuff like that.
Thank you.
Decoded by Jay-Z. That was a good book. That was
What
got me.
book?
The Decoded,
Yeah.
Jay-Z one.
Okay.
Anybody read that one? Yeah. That shit is fire.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
That one too,
Yep.
as well.
Well,
So that's good icebreaker talks for everybody here. Good job. Did you get the mic? Perfect.
What's up, Ricky? My name is Loveless. I think I met you once or twice. But I'm a new R&B artist. I've maybe been in Minneapolis, Minnesota alone for probably like a year and a half, going on 2 years now. And I've been doing music professionally for about 15 years. I was in a separate genre before this, but while it's still a different wing, it's still the same damn bird. You know, you know, it just kind of is. So my question to you is, having worked on previous styles of music growing up, and now switching over to R&B and hip hop, and you yourself have gotten into a little bit of the artist management, what would you say is the most valuable asset, I guess, when it comes to budding artists or artists who are trying to get known like with small numbers? Would you say that the most important thing is your image? Would you say that the most important thing is your numbers and social media view counts? Or would you say that the most important thing is the actual product, your music itself?
Definitely the product, as he whispers it. The product, you can't, you can build careers off of someone that's off of an average rapper or singer or whatever, if they are like really good on Instagram, whether they're like a crazy freestyler, or whatever it may be, but maybe just like their production and what they're putting out isn't necessarily like hitting real hard. But you can still have like a following and a career on social media as an influencer, but maybe not selling out arenas one day because you're just not hitting that thing. So eventually, like at the very root, you want to have the talent. I'd say a big thing though that I tell even the artists that I manage to this day is I can only work as hard as you work. Like, if the artist isn't willing to make TikToks, I can't promote his TikToks. If he's not willing to record a video in the studio or something, I can't promote his video in the studio. So a big thing for me is work ethic. Like, you could have, like, most of the people that we started working with WaterWave didn't have a crazy fan base. They probably were just great people that I reminisced with and are seeing that he could use some help to grow his career, or you know, they've just been around for a while, but none of them like started off as being like, oh, this guy has 20,000 followers, like, let's get him over here and use his crazy fans. Like, it usually started with the talent, being a good person, and showing that you have work ethic. I think is like the big three things for me. But with like that being said, like, one day I would love to have a big record label with a bunch of studios and signing people that I did. Oh, you're talented, come on, let's give you a shot. Oh, you're talented, oh, let's put a budget behind this guy. One day that's like the big goal empire, to be, you know, having people come in, signing artists, giving them the budget they need, you know, helping them push their career, getting them the shows, booking more shows, getting more people on opening slots. Like, that's definitely the long-term goal, but to work right now, it's definitely work ethic and product is probably the top two, and being a good person.
Perfect. Is there any more? Vontae will do these last two. We'll do these last two, Vontae and Daniel. Perfect.
What's up? I'm Vontae.
Say more who you are, because you missed introductions as well.
What's up? I'm Vontae. I DJ, I make beats and all that shit.
Yeah! This is my boy.
Yo, it's crazy because I remember seeing WaterWave during the riots, and I used to fuck with Piff, like Ben and Rob over there.
Yep.
And I saw you guys' store, and I've been in there a couple times, but I didn't even, you talked about brand, you know, I didn't even realize that those were the two same shits, you know what I mean? But
yeah, back then when we were live streaming off of our cell phone, so with the logo wasn't on the screen, so
but no, I saw that
wasn't
shit,
bad, but it was still.
I saw that shit and I was like, I need to be outside. I saw y'all outside and I was like, I need to be outside. So like, shout out to y'all for doing that. But my question is, as a record label, I done seen a lot of record labels like fall apart. You know what I mean? And the main problem is like niggas ain't making no money, and I just like wonder, like, you know, being that I don't know if you guys have like major label support yet or how that works, but like, how are some of the ways that you're like making money for your artists?
Yeah, I'd say right now we haven't done like real deal contracts with artists because I don't have a way to make them money.
Sure.
So what am I supposed to take 20% of your, you know, like what we're not doing much together. I don't have like a bunch of money to help us make money. So I'd say one way that we're able to help keep our brand going, I'd say in a sense, is the store. We got lucky enough to actually like put a store together, and now it's pretty successful, and we're able to pay the bills for the store and, you know, buy new cameras or buy new podcast equipment, maybe book an artist or something. So those are ways maybe that we can put our artists in places to win. You know, we book an artist, they get to open up for them, or we can put money down for a venue so that they can headline. Whatever it may be. So the clothing store is one big way. Selling merch, WaterWave merch sells pretty well for us as well. So that's another way that we've been able to make money. But I'd say like from the artists really making money, it's really just trying to get them on more shows, I guess, would be like one way. But we just don't have like the best pipeline as a record label, which is why I haven't fully like called ourselves a record label because we aren't pushing artists at a huge level, at a high rate yet, but like we're giving them as much light as we can off of our socials and off of our opportunities that we have and off the people we know. But yeah, I'd say that's kind of how our dynamic works. Yeah.
Perfect. Good question. You want to pass that up over here to Daniel? Please. If you guys want to help him up in the middle, it's teamwork. It's a community. After this, then we'll just do a quick bathroom drink break, and then we'll come back with Mike.
How we doing?
Good.
I'm loving everything you're saying, bro.
I want to do this one day.
It's so real. It's so real. So I'll speak for myself and other artist friends that I have. The biggest thing I find is that a lot of artists or DJs feel discouraged when they feel like they're not getting like club play or getting hired for like gigs like that, and so they like shy away from their talent, and they don't. I feel like they get discouraged in their craft and like their worth in that craft. So I wrote this question down.
Daniel, hold the gym up.
Yeah, sorry. So my question was, what is the best way to stay encouraged and true to your art at the same time without sacrificing your worth?
Wait, can you say it again?
Ooh, say it one
Yeah,
more
so I
time.
said,
Say it with your chest.
what's the best way to stay encouraged and true to your art at the same time without sacrificing your worth?
Don't give a fuck what people say about you.
Yeah.
Or tell you what, or like don't let them tell you what to do. Like, I know there's a lot of people that talk a lot of shit about WaterWave. Like I don't think any of them are in this room, but I know a lot of people that do. A lot of people tell me like, well, this person said this about you or whatever. Or a lot of people may say like, WaterWave, you're supposed to do this for the community. You're supposed to be doing this. Like, I don't even know like what we're still doing every single day. Like we started off as trying to do studio sessions and interviews with artists, and now we have a clothing store and we throw shows. Like that was nowhere near like the original game plan. And I think I've gotten really, really good at it of not like looking at like the negative comments and people like you should be doing this or you should do that, and just doing what I think the best move is because it's worked to get me to this far so far. So I think that goes in a lot of business alleys, but for us, like people like will say like you're not doing enough, or you're not doing this right, or you're not using your platform to put this person on, and they deserve it more. And it's like shit. I'm just out. I'm waking up every day. I might talk to the camera. I gotta go like fold some clothes, price some clothes, and then I go home and go eat some food and go to bed. Like there's only so much time to do something, to post something, to talk about something. And everyone has like a perception of what you are supposed to be. That perception on what he's supposed to do. But everyone in here is supposed to be doing, but they're not doing it. So how can they tell you what you're supposed to be doing? Like if someone that's doing something I'm doing, like for example Mike with his artist management and record label, if he sees me making a move like on maybe, or like for example, I dropped a music video on a certain day, a guy at a record label texted me, he's like, yo, you should drop on Sundays. I was like, oh really, that's a thing? Like yeah, like Sunday evenings is not good for impressions. I was like, oh thank you, I'll use that information. But someone just saying like, your brand should be doing this, or you guys should be doing that. It's like no, like that's how I stay true to myself without like, I guess just letting everything else eat me up and change my ways.
Perfect. Perfect.
Everybody make some noise for Ricky and WaterWave! All right, we're gonna just do a five minute. Do you guys want 10 minutes or 5 minutes? 10. We're gonna do a 10-minute break. If we're under 10 minutes, that's awesome. The bathrooms, a reminder, bathroom, it's porch, then you hit the kitchen, and then you'll find the living room, and then to the left is the bathroom. When we come back, we got Mike from Stop House. Make some noise for our panelists. January 8th, we'll be back over here again.